Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals, IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals, IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable knowledge seekers, I am your host for the evening. My name is Prema Dutta. I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seekers, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP, a pure and non-profit profit organization, is a social and academic international, educational and training institute. In the last years, we have already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. RGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Industry of Global Professionals, IGP and ISO 9001, 2050 and 1080. It's a training facility for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reputable. We serve students and community researchers providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it is not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generations all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to students, job seekers, job holders, and also for learners through respective campus locations and distance learning platforms. We are an occupational and dependable institution. IGP are one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product. It's a part of our human right. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminars, courses, awards, quiz competition, monitoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like creating our portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and one knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge, which can upgrade all the guides, learning game website, free courses, conversations, and many more. We have to impart you to learn to meet their expectations and dreams and become highly skilled people. We implement several training programs, webinars, and offline online courses for youth and learners by professional trainers, speakers, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the next of global professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision, so we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learners who represent more diversity, growth, and innovation and rigor. Lead is passion with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill levels and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comments. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comments. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1,512 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1,512 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speakers, participants, and well-wishers, at this moment is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprises for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that on account or login, you can enjoy our services. So create your account for once with your proper information. With your proper information, you will enjoy our features. With mismatched data, you can do anything. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competitions on our website. We play this Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificates. Now it's easier and time oriented because after this session, we will not provide you with any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive a certificate. Otherwise, not. But you can take part in one exam unlimited till you pass. If you are a IGP speaker, you can download your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of graduate. If you are an online quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes components support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 80 types of listening certificates from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the pandemic, Certificate of Active and IGP Knowledge Seeking Income 2020, Certificate of Active and IGP Knowledge Seeking Income 2021, Certificate of Active and IGP Knowledge Seeking Income 2022, Certificate of Participation of Series 1 Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation of Series 2 Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation of Series 3 Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation of Series 4 The New Trends in Education, Certificate of Participation of Series 5 Upskilling Emotional Leadership and Managerial Skill, Certificate of Participation of Series 6 Trends and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation of Series 7 Research and Comprehensive Approach, Certificate of Participation of Series 8 Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Arts. Certificate of Participation in Series 9 21st Century Tools in Indian Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quizzes and verified e-certificates. Teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tips for teenage, gamification tools for teachers. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free and many more. Dear Ajipur issues, we promise previous but lack of technical issues, your list and review on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credentials and solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all apply details. It's a cordial request to you. Check all buttons and pages on our website. Should like and serve will benefited. Thank you, but to an account or log in, you can enjoy our services. At present, we are going to set our 1,400 At present, we are going to start our 1580 and the program name is The Magic of Drama in Language Learning. And our today's speaker is Ma'am Patricia Laura Alvona. And before I hand over the stage to Ma'am, want to share a very little bit about our speaker. Um, she's from Argentina, founder and director of Ludi Drama, TFL as a teacher, trainer, and drama teacher, independent researcher. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
There we are. Sorry. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Thank you, ma'am. Some descriptions about yourself for our audience.
Well, before starting, I would like to say a big thank you to the Institute of Global Professionals for the invitation and the audience that is present. It's a great pleasure for me to be with you all again. So, shall I start?
Yes, yes,
All right. So I'll start sharing my presentation, right?
yes.
Okay. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes?
Yes.
All right. I want to have full screen first.
Yes.
Is it full screen? Because I cannot see it if it is full screen here. Is it
Yes,
full
ma'am.
screen? Yes? All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes.
All right. Can I start then? I can start. All right.
Thank
Thank you. Well, today the topic is the magic of drama in language learning. We all know that we are undergoing a process of transformation in education because the traditional model we are still having no longer responds to 21st century education. In the traditional classroom, teachers usually focus on vocabulary and grammar, and they give students written practice to consolidate contents. Um, they give lots of importance to writing and accuracy and standardized testing, and communication skills have little or um, no attention. Well, what is important is that fortunately new methodologies have been implemented with great with great success, so that today many students around the world can enjoy this type of new methodologies. They focus on active learning, which provide active participation of students because they learn by doing. Well, when the students are in this type of environment, learning is more effective. Well, this is on one side. Another important event has taken place recently, and I'm talking about the present status of English as an international language. English is no longer the property of English speakers. It belongs to the world. So we need a different way of teaching English to our students because we need to prepare them to speak with English around the world, to speak English with speakers around the world whose mother tongue is not English. So accuracy is no longer important. Today, what is important is intelligibility and comprehension. So the introduction of active methodologies and the international character of English has strengthened the crucial role of drama in education. Drama is meaning, and this means that it is significant and memorable. Why? Simply because it connects learning with the real world. When we use drama in the classroom, teaching and learning change completely. Why? Because the students have the opportunity to experience a productive type of learning because teachers introduce procedures which motivate them, and a motivated learner is always eager to learn. Well, so our main aim today is to leave behind this traditional model that is outdated, in which students are passive receivers of information, and focus on procedures that consider how students learn, not just what they learn. In this session, I will present the world of drama and how teachers can transform their teaching experience through drama. Well, the question is, what is drama? And I think that this Chinese proverb clearly explains what it is. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. This means that when students are directly involved in the process of learning, they are able to understand the new content. So drama is learning by doing. That's why it is so important. So in other words, drama is being, drama is movement, is action. It's also communication, interaction. Drama is creative learning. So instead of sitting and listening and repeating, students take a personal journey through experiential learning. In other words, drama is hands-on learning. Well, what is amazing about drama is that it is a dynamic driver of 21st century education. It promotes the development of the 5 basic competencies. These are very important because the students can use them now and in the future. They include communication, cooperation, critical and creative thinking, and control of emotions. And you will see how they are connected while I'm considering all the different aspects of drama in the classroom. Well, why drama is essential in today's classroom? Sometimes teachers think that drama is just a short performance at the end of the year. No, this is a big mistake. The idea is to introduce drama in the process of learning. The idea is to make it a common element, a common tool in the classroom. We should remember that active methodologies, the one that are being implemented today at school, consider drama the tool to be used in the classroom because it is active, and these methodologies promote movement action in the same way drama does. Well, first of all, drama is brain friendly. This means that it activates the whole brain and it uses all the abilities of the brain. We should remember that in the classroom, each student is unique. This means that he has personal characteristics which defines the group he belongs to. That's why we cannot give the same type of activity to different groups of students. For example, first year A and first year B. Why? Because the results will be completely different. The reason is simple. Normally, when we, in the traditional model, when we plan a lesson, we think of content, but we need to plan a lesson according to the type of students we are having in our classes. When we plan our lessons, take into consideration the individuals of my classes, the results will be completely different. Well, drama has a holistic approach. This means that it considers the students as a whole with his mind, body, and emotions. This means that drama connects doing, feeling, and thinking. And in this way, mind, body, and emotions are brought together. This is very important because when students learn holistically, they are able to learn more effectively, more successfully. Well, drama promotes the development of multiple intelligences. We all know that Howard Gardner has redefined the concept of intelligence as a set of abilities and skills that can be developed. He has distinguished 8, and every human being has these 8 intelligences. What is different is the way they are combined. So one of our most important missions in the classroom is to discover the type of intelligences or the potential the students bring to class and encourage them to use them in their process of learning. Well, it boosts emotional intelligence. Aristotle once said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. This means that cognition and emotion form a binomial. They are inseparable. We should remember that students do not learn when we want to teach them. They learn when they are intrinsically motivated, when positive emotions are present. If the students are not prepared for the process of learning, they won't learn. And this is very important to be taken into account. It's not something like, good morning, sit down, pay attention, I'm going to explain something important. We need to create a special atmosphere. Well, drama uses multisensory learning. Multisensory learning is very important, and when you start using it, you realize how differently students learn. Why? Because all the senses are alert, and the students have the opportunity to learn using those senses which are more dominant. We know that in the classroom we have students that are visual, auditory, kinesthetic, so there is no one way of learning. So they feel more confident because they have more possibilities of understanding new information. When we use this type of learning in the classroom, the students retain information more easily because neural connections are improved. This type of multisensory learning is especially useful for students with special needs because they can use their own potential, and in this way they can work together with the rest of the students. Well, it engages all learning styles. This means that drama creates a personalized learning environment. We have said that each student is unique, that each student has his own potential, and that he uses it in his own process of learning. So, drama considers that every style is important and it should be used in the classroom. So when students are working together, a display of styles are present. This means that the students are free to use their own resources, their own strengths. Drama is inclusive learning. This means that it recognizes differences and values diversity. Remember that classes are not homogeneous. The traditional model considers that our classes are homogeneous, that students learn in the same way. That's why we always deliver the class as if all the students are able to understand in the same way. Well, this is a big mistake. We need to understand that we have different individuals with different needs, we learn differently. So our teaching should be adapted to their needs. So when drama create this inclusive environment, the students with and without special needs work together satisfactorily. Drama is also great because it cultivates a growth mindset. And this is very important. Why? Because when we encourage our students to develop a growth mindset, we are telling them that through dedication and hard work, they will be successful. We invite them to try harder. And when they develop a growth mindset, the term yet is inspirational because they know that in the end, after some effort, they will be successful. Sometimes when they have a fixed mindset, they believe that they won't be able to learn something, or that they are not capable enough. That's why they need a lot of encouragement and to inspire them to develop this type of mindset to be successful now and in their future lives. Well, drama promotes cooperative work. We all know that learning is a social process. The traditional model considers that learning is an individual process. You know that students are seated individually and they pay attention to the teacher and they do not have the opportunity to share what they learn with their peers. So their work is mainly individual. When we use drama in the classroom, the students work together. And in this way, they work together and they learn together. Why? Because they can share their own experiences, they share their styles of learning, they share strategies, and they create a sort of supportive framework which they use to support one another. Gradually, they gain more confidence and they are in the process of becoming independent learners. This means that they can solve problems or they can make decisions without the help of others. Remember, another of our important missions is to help them become autonomous. When students work cooperatively, for example, when they have to perform a short play, every student has a particular role to play. This means that they are responsible for their own work, but at the same time, they are responsible for the work of the whole group. So this means that they are closely connected when they are working together, and in this way, learning becomes more effective. Well, and when we are working, and when students are working together, the term noise is very important. I always say that silence in the classroom, when it is usually present, is not healthy. This means that students are silently listening to the teacher and they do not have any active participation. When we speak about noise, we need to distinguish two types: good and bad noise. Bad noise is always present when students are demotivated because they are not enjoying the class, so they become disruptive. And then we have that good noise that is productive when students are working together on a particular task. So they are producing something new and they are using their own potential together to create something new. That is what is important. Well, it boosts creativity. Drama and creativity form a binomial. They are inseparable. Remember that human beings are created by nature, but creativity should be nurtured, stimulated. When creativity is present in the classroom, students are encouraged to unleash their imagination, to use fantasy. For this, they need to step outside the comfort zone. And of course, the teacher should be the first to be outside this zone. Why? Because when we are outside, there are challenges, there are risks, and creativity is outside the comfort zone. When we are inside, there is no change. It is always the same stimuli, the same responses. So it's boring to remain there. Although many people remain in this zone because they feel safe. So the challenge is to step aside and start enjoying what life offers outside this zone. Well, drama is concerned with meaningful context. That is to say, that contextualized settings are always present. This means that students apply what they learn to real-life situations. This means that drama brings the real world into the classroom, and the only way of understanding new content is when students have a connection with the real world. Why is it useful? In what way can I use this new content? Students may tend to ask teachers. So it is important then to connect new learning with the real world, with real life, so that the students, as soon as they internalize new information, they are able to use it in their daily lives. Well, something very important about drama, and this is connected, sorry, and this is connected with the international character of English. Drama is the only tool which helps students develop communication skills. Why? Because drama is is mainly interactions. No other tool can help students develop this type of skills. And today, the international character of English requires this development. Why? Because the students need to be able to use the language to communicate globally. This means that listening and speaking should be taught together. When students develop communication skills through drama, they get phonological awareness, prosodic recognition, and body language interpretation. In the traditional model, the emphasis is on speaking, and listening is not taken into account. Listening is called the Cinderella skill of language learning, and this is a big mistake because it is a foundational skill. So, as it is not taken into account, prosodic recognition and body language interpretation, which is related to what is not said in speech, but it is very meaningful. Something is missing. The students are not given all the strategies that they need in order to become effective users of English. So, through drama, students are able to interpret and use all the elements of communication in order to become effective users, especially today that English has become an international language. Well, drama is a very flexible technique because it can be adapted to any subject. For this reason, when we start using drama in the classroom, we should encourage other teachers of different subjects to include it. But in fact, the active methodologies that are being used at the moment consider drama as a very important component in the classroom. So if you have adopted active methodologies, there is no doubt that drama is part of your teaching. Well, metacognition and feedback are two extremely important components that are not usually present in the classroom. Why? Because in the traditional model, these two components are not important, because the main concern is learning content. Well, when we introduce metacognition, the students start reflecting on their own learning. And this is very important because when students start analyzing their own learning, they discover their weaknesses and their strengths. And in this way, they can fix the difficulties they are having and improve their learning. For this, they use critical thinking. They start using this type of thinking because they get together with their peers and discuss the problems, the mistakes that might have been present in their process of learning. So when they discuss together, they express opinions, they make comparisons, they try to solve the problems they are having together. And of course, that feedback is circulating all the time. It is multidirectional. Of course, that teacher feedback is very important, but the thing is that the feedback should be teacher, student, student, teacher, and student, student. So when feedback is circulating in this way, well, this means that the process of metacognition is taking place effectively. When metacognition and feedback are present, the students think critically, and in this way, they become agents of their own learning. This means that they become autonomous, independent. Where does drama fit into language learning? This is very important because we need to find the connection and understand in what way drama may be useful. Well, you know that languages are made of systems and abilities. So when students learn the target language, they need to discover phonology, that is to say, the sound system of the language, how sounds are pronounced in that system, and then they use them in words. But this is not enough. They need to know the words of the language. They have to develop vocabulary skills. This means that they should know not only the pronunciation of words, but also the meaning and collocations. They also need grammar and discourse skills. Grammar, they need grammar, what for? In order to be able to express correctly. And discourse skills refer to the ability to encode and decode meanings, taking into consideration phonological, lexical, grammatical, and syntactical rules. The students involved in drama develop the four macro abilities. Speaking and listening are the main skills they develop, because remember that drama is communication, drama is interactions. So the students are always involved in different types of activities in which they have the opportunity to improve their communication skills. They are speaking and listening all the time. But reading and writing are also included. Why? In order to support speaking and listening. Well, I have said that drama is the tool for the development of communication skills. But what is communication? Communication is a two-way process in which speakers and listeners are speaking and listening all the time, and they are constantly changing roles. That's why they cannot be separated. We are in the 21st century and we are still teaching them separately. That is to say, and the main concentration is on speaking. But remember that the type of speaking that is considered in the traditional classroom is not the one that is related to communication. The type of speaking that is the speaking practice that is present in the traditional classroom is related to questions that are usually asked by the teacher, which refers to a lesson the students have already covered, or questions that students can make to their peers. Or another example is when students give the summary of a story. These are not examples of communication. They are not practicing the language in communicative ways. The students are developing communication skills when they are involved in communicative activities, in conversations, in role plays, in debates, discussions, in which there is a permanent flow of listening and speaking skills and strategies. Well, in order to develop communication skills, students need to acquire language proficiency. Language proficiency is a slow process. It is gained gradually. And for this, they need to get to develop verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication includes words. It is the linguistic side of communication. But, so we use words to express meanings, but words are not spoken alone. They are accompanied by non-verbal communication. And this is the side of speech that is missing. Speech is not just speaking, it also involves listening. So non-verbal communication is very important because it enhances the meaning of what is said. There is a big difference between, what did you say? If you pay attention to my facial expression and body language, this is completely different from what did you say? Or why did you come here? Why did you come here? So the same sequence of words, but using different nonverbal communication. So when we pay attention to nonverbal communication, I am getting ready for the reply. Because if I say, what do you need? Like that, you are surprised because the way I'm addressing to you. But if you say, what do you need? So your reply will be different. That's why they are so important. And this non-verbal component is very important today because English has become a lingua franca. It helps us to understand the situation in which a conversation may take place with a foreigner, just a passerby on the street. Well, comprehension ability refers to the capacity that students have to process spoken and written context and understand them. Remember that today students need intelligibility and comprehension. And drama helps comprehension because it includes perception skills. So when students develop language skills and effective listening strategies, comprehension is highly enhanced. Well, drama also promotes communicative and interactional competencies. What is communicative competence? Communicative competence is the ability to understand and use the language in appropriate social situations. And there are four main areas that should be taken into account: linguistic, social linguistic, strategic, and pragmatic. Communicative competence is an individual ability. Each student should have this communicative competence. But interactional competence is shared, it is collective. Why? Because it refers to the interaction that is present or the co-construction of meanings that is present when we are engaged in a conversation. Remember that when we are having a conversation, we are constantly negotiating meanings in order to keep the conversation going. they're going and to avoid breakdowns in communication. That's why it is so important to practice communication skills in the classroom. Students usually complain because after studying the language for years, they realize that they do not feel confident enough to become an active member in a conversation, and they are afraid of causing breakdowns in communication. Well, it is not their fault. It is because something important is missing in the classroom, and it is communication practice. For this reason, we need to find a specific place in our lessons and include communication practice so that the students have the opportunity to practice listening and speaking strategies. Well, what can drama achieve in the classroom? Well, what is really amazing about drama is that it promotes genuine communication. Why? Because it deals with interactions. This means that it uses conversational devices. This is something that is not taught either. Conversational devices are very important to avoid breakdowns in communication. For example, in a conversation, there are false starts, repetitions. We ask for information, further explanation, reformulation. And in this way, we keep on speaking. Students realize the importance of role relationships. Why? Because when we start a conversation with another person, we get connected. And this is very important. For example, you cannot be connected if you are having a conversation with a person and at the same time you are checking your text messages on your phone, on your cell phone. No. When you are connected, this means that your eyes, your ears, and your heart are alert. We are paying full attention to what the speaker is saying, and this role is changed because remember that we are speaking and listening all the time in a conversation, and the roles are changed. Students also discover the importance of register. Register refers to the degree of formality, so they understand that they need to use a different type of language when they are having a conversation with a peer and a conversation with a teacher. They learn how to use paralinguistic cues. Remember that this is something that is not taken into account in the traditional way of teaching the English language. Why? They know that the tone of voice is very important because it shows the emotions of the person. And besides, every time we are having a conversation, each word is accompanied by an emotional load. Remember that we are emotional people. So we are showing our emotions permanently. And when we are having a conversation, this cannot be avoided. For example, if I'm angry with a friend and I have to talk about the problem we are having, well, I won't be able to hide my anger. And my words will have this type of emotional load. If I feel happy about good news I have received, I won't be able to hide my happiness through my words. So that's the way communication works. And we shouldn't forget that 55% of what we say is expressed through our body language. For this reason, we need to understand that just silence in a conversation is meaningful. Just a look may give a lot of information. When we learn to understand the meaning of nonverbal language, we become better communicators in the classroom because we can observe our students' facial expressions. Sometimes, without saying a word, they are transmitting a lot through their eyes. So pay attention also to the way your students express. Sometimes they are asking for help just with a look. Okay, drama helps the development of critical thinking and decision-making skills. Why? Because when the students are engaged in discussions, in debates, in a context of situation in which the students have to think hard about decisions, about solving a problem, well, they are better prepared for the future. Remember that all these skills help students become autonomous, independent. Well, when they are engaged in drama activities, transferable skills are present. Transferable skills are those that can be used everywhere. So they use them in the classroom, and they will be able to use them in their daily lives. What are examples of this type of skills? Time management, teamwork, leadership, role relationships, etc. There are lots of skills that are developed when the students are together working through drama. And something very important is that feedback is always present in the classroom, and it is constructive. Why? Because it is supportive, it is useful. When we say in the classroom, well done, that well done is not enough. The students need feedback. They need to know that they are guided by the teacher. So when the students are given constructive feedback, we are telling them what is right and what is wrong, and we encourage them to go on improving. But of course, this constructive feedback is useless if the students do not take action. For this reason, we need to pay attention to the process of learning. Remember that drama is concerned with the process of learning, not with the result. This means that if you are interested in knowing how drama works in the classroom, what is important is to discover the way learning is enhanced. First of all, you need to consider the 5 E's of drama. If you take them into account, I think that they are 5 keywords, because for me, it is an amazing tool, because I can feel and I experience the results that I have every time I work with my students. Well, the E of environment. Drama is responsible for creating a pleasant atmosphere, an atmosphere that is warm, safe, unthreatening, which invites the students to learn. This means that when we use drama in the classroom, the students are learning, and at the same time, they are having lots of fun. Isn't it great? This means that they are not seated individually, listening to the teacher and following instructions. No, they are part of the process. They are actively involved in the process of learning. Why? Because they are learning by doing. This means that the classroom becomes a laboratory where the students experiment with language. There is a lot of trial and error. Mistakes are expected. They are part of the process. That's why they are not afraid of committing mistakes. This is one of the great advantages of drama, because teachers insist that mistakes are part of the process. Usually, students consider mistakes as something bad, something that should not be committed in the classroom because they are punished. This is something that is related to the traditional model, right? Why? Because this model of education promotes correctness. Well, in this case, when we use drama and when we are involved with active methodologies, mistakes are welcome. They are part of the process. Well, the E of involvement. When students are in this type of atmosphere, in this type of climate, environment, they get motivated very easily. And they pay attention. So this means that when you use drama in the classroom, there is no need to ask for attention. Normally, the teachers say, teachers say, pay attention. What I'm going to say is important, or pay attention to my explanation. So always asking for attention, but attention should be gained. When students are in this pleasant atmosphere, attention appears naturally. And when attention is present, they get intrinsically motivated. And when motivation is in the classroom, curiosity is present. And when a student is curious, he's eager to learn. As simple as that. Remember that students have been complaining for a long time because they do not like the way they are learning. They do not want to be passive receivers of information any longer. They want to be active participants. That's why we are in this period of transformation, and those teachers who are working very hard to transform education are giving them what they really want and need. And the results are really great because they are learning differently, more effectively, and that learning becomes permanent because they are able to use new information in real life situations. Well, encouragement, the E of encouragement. What does it mean? Students need encouragement. Everybody needs encouragement. We encourage our students to go on improving, and this has to do with a growth mindset. And the word mistake here is magic, because mistakes are part of the process. They feel better when they can commit mistakes. They feel more confident when they are not interrupted immediately after they have committed an error, when they are using the language in front of their peers, because it may be embarrassing when we interrupt the flow of speech of our students and start giving a grammar explanation. This should be avoided. So the students tend to feel uncomfortable, and then it is more difficult to go on speaking because their ideas in the mind are no longer present. Well, we try to avoid, we should try to avoid this type of interruptions. Well, in drama, mistakes are treated with the whole class because mistakes are common in the classroom. So if we have a test and there are mistakes that have been committed in the classroom, for example, an oral test or just an activity, remember that with drama, students are assessed through performance. There is no need to take frequent tests, oral or written. Why? Because you can see the way the students work in the classroom and the way they use the language they know through performance. But mistakes are always present. So when they are present, we spot them and they are discussed with the whole class. And the students propose solutions or strategies or different styles of learning. And in this way, they learn together and fix mistakes in this way more easily. Well, the E of empowerment. And here there is a very good question. What is the most important resource in the classroom? The textbook, the iPad, our computer? No. I think that it is something collective. And I think it is the students. The students are the most important resource in the classroom, together with their opinions, their imagination, their observations, their comments, their feedback, their hopes, their dreams. This means that when we consider our students the most important resource, this means that we can learn from them. Remember, if we are good communicators and good observers, they are always teaching us, even if they are not speaking, as I said before. So pay attention to the way they receive information, to the way they work, the type of feedback they give. So all the different types of information that we receive from them are very important to improve our own teaching practices. Of course, that when we empower them, we inspire them to believe in themselves. And this is very important, because sometimes students get discouraged or disappointed because of mistakes. But when you highlight the importance of mistakes, that they are the door to knowledge, the door to understanding, well, everything changes in the classroom. And finally, the E of embodied cognition. Drama is holistic, remember. If we draw a comparison with the traditional model, learning is an intellectual act, so the mind is important. This part of the body. There is no connection between the mind and the body. But when we use drama in the classroom, the whole body is involved. This means that the mind and the body are connected, and emotions are taken into account, because without emotion, knowledge and learning cannot take place. Okay, now, active practice. What can we do in order to use drama in the classroom and get students who become very fond of learning? Before starting, we normally have some physical warm-ups. These warm-ups are very important because they prepare the brain and they create a balance between thinking and doing. Remember that the students will be working all the time, doing different activities. So we need a balance between both body and mind, or doing and thinking. There are different types of warm-ups, depending on the level of the student or depending on the group of students you have. It may be breathing, physical stretching, vocal workout, if you want to practice some sounds, specific sounds, brain gym, and a brain break. A brain break is not something that is normally present in the classroom. They are very important because when the students are busy working on a particular task for 20 minutes, let's say, you suddenly interrupt the class and tell them, okay, let's start dancing, let's start singing, let's start playing cards. This means that they start doing something completely different from the activity they were doing before. So in this case, they regain energy, and after 5 minutes, no more than that, they are able to go on working and finish the activity. Well, what are the types of activities the students can do when we use drama? Well, there are verbal and non-verbal. Remember that verbal and non-verbal communication, both of them are present when students are engaged in interactions. And remember the importance of non-verbal communication. I have included some. Of course, there is a very great variety of activities. But for example, in the case of verbal, the usual ones are discussions, role play, simulation, brainstorming, group story, mini play, and improvisation. Improvisation are for those students who have got a good command of the language. So this is for students at higher levels. But anyway, as we said before, learning a language is a long process. So improvisation is one of the last steps in the process of learning, but you can't imagine how creative students can be. All right, so they are using this variety of verbal activities, but remember that at the same time they are using non-verbal communication, because in a discussion we are expressing our opinions and we are using our bodies. In a group story, if we are telling a story, probably we may take the role of a character and we will assume specific non-verbal language in order to express, to accompany the ideas and thoughts. Well, but there are a set of specific non-verbal activities in order to improve their use and to become more natural and to become aware of the importance of their use. For example, we can start with a gesture list. When you ask the students to mention some gestures or facial expressions, they mention a few. So encourage them to mention more. Another activity is to express the opposite emotion. The students have lots of fun. For example, you say, okay, it is your birthday today, but you're angry. Because normally they say, it is my birthday today. And well, you're angry. So you need to show physically that you're angry, and through you have to use your tone of voice to express your anger. It's my birthday today. You're angry. You don't want to be at your party. Okay, body talk. This means that you use your body to express meaning. Just a wink, just a hand gesture may indicate a lot of meaning. Charades are pantomimes, and they are very useful in the classroom because students have lots of fun because they express meaning without using words. The same happens with you don't say. In you don't say, you use a particular body posture, for example, something like this, and your peer have to describe your body language. So it is a way of becoming familiar with the meanings of different nonverbal communications. And movement story is when the students represent part of the story using their bodies. Well, action songs are very common. One of them is Simon Says. The students respond physically to linguistic input. Well, as you see, you can use any, and when you start observing how the students react with this type of activities, you will feel amazed. Well, a final thought before saying thank you. My final advice is to incorporate drama into your classes. Why? Because when you start using it, you will feel its magic, and you will enjoy its inspiration. When I started using drama, I never imagined the impact it would have on my professional and personal life. Today, I cannot start my class without its inspiration. So I invited you to use it. You won't regret. Well, thank you very much. And now I'm eager to listen to your questions. So I will stop sharing my presentation. Any questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seekers. Surely, after your presentation, I hope our knowledge seekers can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seekers. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question and answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinars. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we'll be back in our session part 2, which is the question and answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have open certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have open certification and online quiz competition.
Is there any questions?
After a short video, we will start our question and answer session. Ma'am, please stay with us. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. We are still waiting for your question. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. Our first question is come from Jeffrey Salim. Her question is: some of the students are really shy to participate when it comes to dramatization. What are the best techniques that can be used to encourage them?
So some of the students are really shy to participate when it comes to dramatization. Yes, it's true. Well, the thing is, the first thing that should be done is to create a pleasant atmosphere so that the students should feel confident. Because the problem they are having is that they are afraid of committing mistakes. And when they feel that a mistake is punished and they know that they will be interrupted, they don't want to participate. So first, a climate in which mistakes are welcome. And besides, we need to create a good relationship between teacher and students and students and students. When there is an atmosphere of confidence, the students start dramatizing. Start slow with activities in which they not all the students are working together. Start with pair work, then group work, and then the whole class. And I think that in this way, they will start getting the taste of drama, and they will engage more easily. But first of all, climate, good climate, and good disposition. That's the answer.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. After question and answer, we have a witness attention and online quiz competition. Our second question is come from Isahe Kyangi. His question is, how do we involve introverts in drama? Thank you, ma'am. Professor Laura.
All right. Well, the thing is that there is one special problem with students when they are learning a foreign language. Learning a foreign language is not easy because the students need to express in a language they are becoming familiar with. So they need a lot of preparation. That's why mistakes should be welcome. They are part of the process. When the students feel that a mistake is treated with the whole group and there is no indicator of frustration, they start working. So introverts or shy students work in the same way. They do not want to participate, so they should be stimulated. Why? Well, try to, I think that with metacognitive questions, for example, in what way do you think you could express this story, the main character of the story? Imagine that you are the main character. In what way do you think you could have acted differently? Or could you think of another ending for this story? So start asking these type of questions before involving them in a real activity in which they are the ones that take up different roles. I think that this is the best way of doing, study with metacognitive strategies, so that in this way they will feel more confident speaking about themselves first.
Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker.
Yes, of course. Yes, the 5 C's. As you see, when I develop the different aspects of drama, the 5 C's are always present. Because, for example, creative and critical thinking are always present. Cooperation, the students work together. Control of emotions, they learn how to control emotions, how to be empathetic, how to share their emotions with their peers, how to improve the emotional relationship with their teachers. And as regards communication, well, they are developing communication skills not only to improve the use of the language, but also to improve the relationship with their peers. They are expressing in another language, but at the same time, they are improving their communications to be able to express their ideas and thoughts, not only in the classroom, but also outside the classroom. So this is what is great about grammar, because it connects the classroom with the real world, or learning with real life situations. So go ahead, implement them together. Yes.
And our third question is come from Sanjay Oladukun. His question is, Madam, could please highlight steps to take to integrate drama in teaching, for instance, English language. Thank you.
Well, what are the steps? When you are familiar with drama activities or when you are not, it's the same. When you start using suppose that I'm starting using drama, or when I started using drama some time ago. Well, you need to show your students that they are part of the process. They will be learning by doing, that they will unleash their imagination. They are free to use their imagination and to create language using their imagination, even if their knowledge of the language yeah, is not important. For example, at the early stages. So express what you have read using your body. For example, in a story. And here we are checking comprehension. I'm going to read you a story, and when I highlight a word, you will represent that word using your body. So I start. Once upon a time, there was a big elephant. So this was big. I have to make it big. So they represent big like this. Mm. Um, and he was very sad. So they start using their bodies. So this means that they understand that the body is meaningful. This is the first step. So in this case, we are using total physical response method. Why? Because the students are reacting physically to a linguistic input. Remember that drama is concerned with performance. The students are not supposed to write anything. They have to create using their minds, their bodies, and their hearts. So there are no steps to be taken because it depends on the type of activity you select. But every time you start using a particular activity, tell the students, in what way do you think you could do this or that? Because this indicates freedom. This encourages them to use their own potential, their own resources. There are no fixed rules. They do not have to follow instructions. I mean, fixed instructions, because to do a specific activity, of course, that sometimes there are instructions, but they are free to create. So this means that they feel that they are outside the comfort zone because they are free to do what they can using what they know about the language, what they know about the world. This is what is amazing about drama. They are free to create. There are no fixed rules. For example, if you give them a written composition, well, you have to write about what you did yesterday. So it is the writing is fixed without the topic I have indicated. When they do drama, they feel freer because they can create.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in IGP. You have learned a lot from me with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care. Honorable Ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, ma'am. IGP Knowledge Seekers, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we'll start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP knowledge seekers, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we'll start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certificate instruction, visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching or completing part 1, the decision click mark is complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download the certificate. If fail, to retake the course. Download the certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Certificate instructions. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Sign up or sign in, find a running session and get enrolled. After watching or completing part 1, the decision click mark is complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download the certificate. If fail, to retake the quiz. Download the certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We change a few processes for online live quiz competitions. Note that after live, no one can participate. Participation process. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com. Sign up or sign in. Without this, you can join live quiz competitions anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link. Find the session name and join with your logged website or user account. Click a join. Wait for a few minutes for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificates for the top 10 previous which you can find on our website and official Facebook page. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. start our quiz session. We will now start our quiz. Our first question is: which of the following is a characteristic of the language used in modernist drama? A simple and straightforward, B symbolic and metaphorical. Correct answer is B. On the leaderboard, first person name is Cristina Vidal Rosario. Next question is: what kind of language is used in the drama text? A intense and varied, B direct and raw. Correct answer is A. On the leaderboard, first person name is Charlene L. Infante. Next question is: the use of drama in the classroom detracts from language development. A true, B false. Correct answer is B. On the leaderboard, first person name is Charlene L. Infante. Next question is: who is the greatest writer of drama in the English language? A. Mr. John, B. Shakespeare. Correct answer is B. On the leaderboard, first person name is Charlene L. Infante. Next question is: in root magic, what language did many of the people speak? A. Gula, B. Spanish. Correct answer is A. On the leaderboard, first person name is Sir Knight Flomi Salvizio. Next question is: how does the figurative language in the line contribute to the meaning of the drama? A. It allows readers to know that events have become serious. B. It reveals a character trait that causes the conflict. Correct answer is B. On the leaderboard, first person name is Sun Knight Flomi Salvizio. Next question is: all are aspects of the use of language in a drama except A. The words we say, B. Language we use English, Spanish, etc. Correct answer is B. On the leaderboard, first person name is Sun Knight Flami Salvizio. Next question is: a drama from the Middle Ages done in the everyday language of the people was A. Vernacular, B. Liturgical. Correct answer is A. On the leaderboard, first person name is Arun GTCC Salvizo. Next question is irony in the language of a drama is understood by the audience but not by the those in the play. A dramatic irony, be situational irony. Correct answer is A. On the leaderboard, first person name is Arun GTCC Salvizo. Next question is in the book Root Magic, Gula is made out of what languages? A Spanish and French, B English and different West American languages. Correct answer is B. On the leaderboard, first person name is Arun GTCC Salvizo. Our quiz session is finished now. Conclusions to our webinar online quiz conference top 10 conclusions again will take a few minutes to finalize the result and after we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page. Conclusions to our webinar online quiz conference top 10 conclusions again will take a few minutes to finalize the result and after we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page. Conclusions to our webinar online quiz competition top 10 conclusions again will take a few minutes to finalize the result and after we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning because life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. You want to participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, type to your goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, I wants to thank all IGP knowledge speakers for your active participations as always. See you in the next session. Thank you.